What if I told you there's a country where people carry cash envelopes instead of credit cards, where grandmothers keep millions of yen under their mattresses, and where the average person saves more than 3 times what an American saves? Not because they earn more, but because they think differently about money. That country is Japan. And today, I'm going to break down the most powerful Japanese money habits that financial advisors in the West simply don't talk about. My name is Johnny, and if you're serious about building real wealth, stay with me, because what you're about to learn might completely change how you see your bank account. Before we dive in, if you're new here, this channel is all about practical, no BS financial advice to help you build real wealth, one smart decision at a time. Hit subscribe because we drop new videos every week. Now let's talk about Japan. Section 1. Kakeibo, the 100-year-old budgeting system. In 1904, a Japanese journalist named Hani Motoko invented something that's still used by millions of Japanese households today. It's called Kakeibo, pronounced Kakeibo, and it literally translates to household financial ledger. But this isn't just a budget spreadsheet. It's a mindfulness system for your money. Here's how it works. Every month, you ask yourself 4 questions. How much money do I have? How much am I spending? How much do I want to save? How can I improve? Sounds simple, right? But here's the key: you do it by hand. On paper. No apps. No automation. Research shows that writing things down by hand forces your brain to process the information differently. You're not just logging numbers, you're building a conscious relationship with your money. The average Kakeibo user saves between 10 and 35% more than before they started. That's not a small number. That's the difference between financial stress and financial freedom. Actionable tip. This week, grab a notebook. Write down every purchase you make. Not on your phone, on paper. Do it for 7 days. I promise you'll be shocked by what you see. Section 2. The envelope system for Ashiki money management. Now, Japan has one of the highest cash usage rates in the developed world. While the rest of us are tap and go on everything, the Japanese still use physical cash. And it's not because they're behind the times. It's a strategy. They use a system of labeled envelopes, one for groceries, one for transport, one for entertainment, one for savings. When the envelope is empty, spending stops. No exceptions. The psychology here is powerful. Studies from MIT and Carnegie Mellon show that paying with cash activates the pain centers of the brain in a way that digital payments simply don't. Swiping a card feels painless. Handing over physical bills? You feel every dollar leaving your hand. This is why Japanese households consistently underspend their budget. Not because they earn more, but because their system makes overspending uncomfortable. Credit card debt in Japan is a fraction of what it is in the US or UK. That's not an accident. Actionable tip. Pick your biggest spending weakness, eating out, online shopping, whatever it is, and put a fixed cash amount in an envelope for it this month. When it's gone, it's gone. Try it once. It works. Section 3. Ikigai and the long game. Here's where Japanese financial philosophy gets really interesting and different from Western thinking. In the West, we're obsessed with getting rich fast. Crypto moonshots. Side hustles that replace your income in 30 days. The hustle and grind culture. Japan has a different concept. Ikigai. It means reason for being, the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Now here's what most people miss. Ikigai isn't just a life philosophy. It's a financial strategy. When you build your income around something meaningful to you, you don't burn out. You don't quit. You stay consistent for decades. And in wealth building, consistency over decades beats any get-rich-quick scheme every single time. Japan has more centenarian workers than any country on earth. Not because they have to work, but because their work gives them purpose. And that purpose keeps them sharp, healthy, and financially active well into old age. The wealthiest people I know aren't the ones who made a killing overnight. They're the ones who showed up every day for 20 years. Actionable tip. Ask yourself, is your current income source something you can sustain for 10 years? If the honest answer is no, that's important information. Section 4. The 1% rule, Kaizen applied to wealth. You've probably heard of Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement. It's the system that made Toyota one of the most efficient companies in the world. But almost nobody talks about applying Kaizen to personal finance. The idea is simple. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire financial life overnight, you focus on getting 1% better every single day. Increase your savings rate by 1%. Reduce one unnecessary subscription. Learn one new thing about investing this week. Here's the math that will blow your mind. If you improve by just 1% every week for a year, you end up 52% better than where you started. Not overnight. Not with a magic investment. Just small, consistent, intentional steps. This is how Japanese companies outlast their competition. It's how Japanese individuals build generational wealth quietly, without flashy cars or social media flexing. You will never see a Japanese billionaire on Instagram showing off their watches. But you will find Japanese families with zero debt, fully funded retirements, and money set aside for their grandchildren. That's the real flex. So let's recap what we learned from Japan today. White heavy checkmark Kakeibo, write your finances by hand, build awareness. White heavy checkmark the envelope system, use cash to make spending feel real. White heavy checkmark Ikigai, build income around purpose, not just profit. White heavy checkmark Kaizen, get 1% better consistently, forever. These aren't complicated strategies. They don't require a finance degree or a big starting capital. They require discipline, consistency, and a willingness to think differently. If this video helped you, do me a favor, share it with one person who needs to hear this. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to Johnny Finance. I'll see you in the next one. Speech balloon drop in the comments. Which of these 4 methods are you going to try first?